Well, the Liberals have decided who will lead them into the next election after a crushing defeat that cost them 15 seats. Sussan Ley is the party's first female leader in its history, with a clear message to meet voters where they are at. But cracks are already beginning to show, with the Nationals weighing up whether they want to stay committed to the coalition agreement or split from the Liberals altogether. For her first live TV interview as leader of the opposition, Sussan Ley joins us live in Albury, New South Wales. Good morning and congratulations. You are the first female leader of the opposition in more than 80 years. It is significant. Tell us, what was the first thing you did?
Well, the first thing I did, Nat, was to jump in the car after the big press conference and come back to my mum, who's in end-of-life care here in Albury, and I want to thank everyone for their good wishes, because mums are very special, and my mum raised me to be the woman that I am today. And just to take that time to talk to mum, to talk to my daughters and my son, to reflect on, with gratitude, on the experiences I've had in this, the best country in the world, as a migrant, raising my children, working on, in many different jobs, on the farm, as a farmer's wife, as I call myself, and that I am a modern Australian story, like so many of the women, so many of the families, so many of the community that I meet every day and have met as deputy leader over the last few years. So there is just a sense, Nat, of the enormous privilege, the humbling experience of taking on this role. And I'm very grateful for the faith and trust that my party room has placed in me.
Yeah, and it shows you, doesn't it? It's interesting. Sometimes you get these big opportunities, these big jobs, and your personal life doesn't stop, and it's sometimes an inopportune time, and we are very sorry that you're going through that with your mum and your whole family. Our love to you. Let's talk about business though, because, you know, that is the job, isn't it? You met with Nationals leader David Littleproud yesterday. There's been talk about the Nationals potentially opting out of the coalition. One of their conditions is that you will keep the nuclear plan. Where are you on that?
Nat, I'm not going to talk about the private discussions that I had with David. He travelled to meet me in Albury, and I'm grateful that he came to where I am because of my personal circumstances. We had productive and respectful discussions. We had a good first meeting. It certainly won't be the last. And as I said, I'm not going to talk about what we discussed. But I will say this, the thing that unites our party room and unites Liberals and Nationals is that we are here to work very hard for the Australian people. And that's what drives me every single day, working hard, fighting where necessary, but making sure that we get up every morning to do exactly that for the people that we want to relate to, we want to respond to. And as I've said, Nat, we have to have an agenda that respects modern Australia, reflects modern Australia, and represents modern Australia.
It's a big fight because women, young people, a lot abandoned you around this country. It's kind of unprecedented. Give us one thing that you know you want to change.
I worry about women and the hard work they do in balancing work, family, childcare, aged parents, the mortgage. And I met many women in those situations, and I reflected on my life through my own journey, which is not dissimilar. And it's tough when you're doing all these things and you're busy every single day and you're working incredibly hard with your family, with your children, with your parents, volunteering in your community, being part of the amazing society that Australia is. And I want to make sure that our policy agenda that we work very hard as a team to develop meets modern women, indeed all Australians where they are. And what I can do in leading that team, Nat, is harness the amazing talents that every single member of my team has to promote that agenda, to meet people where they are, to get up every day and work hard for the Australian people.
Okay, big job ahead of you. We'll talk later. Thank you very much, Sussan Ley.
Yeah.
Here's David.
Thank you.